everyone, to Totally Whiskey and Wine. I'm your host, Jason, and with me, as always, is James, our intermediate, and Zach, our industry professional, and Peach, the connoisseur and queen of all. So, before we begin with that, what are we actually reviewing today? Today, we are reviewing this Kozuba High Rye Whiskey. It's a 7-year cask-strength small batch at 117 proof. Before we get into it, Zach, why don't you tell us a little bit more about this?
Yeah, so Kozuba is a fairly local company. They're based in St. Petersburg, Florida. They're originally from Poland. They moved here in 2011 and specialize in grain alcohol. Specifically, they are most well known for their vodka selection, but they also do triple sec, pomegranate liqueurs, various cordials, and of course, they've expanded into the realm of whiskey, where they have 2 rye whiskeys and then a bourbon readily available.
Nice.
This is the floor malted grain? No. Something else I was remembering.
Yeah. Big thing with this, it's 65% rye, 35% wheat. So it's technically a high wheat rye, and it's all copper pot, small batch distillation. Very, very small production for their whiskey selection anyway.
So, with all that being
we
said,
65,
65, 35.
Wheat.
Yep.
117 proof.
Yep.
The bottle you get may vary in proof substantially. I have myself had a prior bottle that was significantly higher proof than this. But
still pretty good, 117. Anyway, so without further ado, what did we score this? Drum roll, please. $75. That's right, we gave it a 75 overall. Well, how did we come across that score? So we rate things in 4 categories: nose, mouthfeel, flavor, and finally the finish. In each one, we'll rate it up to 25 points. So we get 25 in each of those categories. We add those together to get all the way up to 100, and then we're going to average our individual scores out to get our average overall score, which was 75 in this case. But let's talk about each of the categories and what we got. So I'll start out with the nose. I actually got some, for me at least, it smelled like a little bit of leather, some like pepper spice, maybe a little bit of peat, and actually a tiny bit of chocolate is kind of what I came up with it, which I thought was pretty good, and I liked it. Wasn't the best nose I've ever had, but it was pretty good, so I gave it a 19.
All right. Well, I gave it a 20, which is my highest remark for this, with notes of toast, just general oak spice, and pear.
I went bigger than you guys. I like this nose. I have a little bit of a hard time giving it the words, but I gave it 22. Smells hot. I smell the proof on it. So they do call it a 7-year. I would have guessed it was a little younger than that. But spiced cookies, like not ginger snap, not any one cookie, just generally spicy, like baked cookies. Kind of on the nose. But each one I work through, I'm like, that kind of reminds me of this, kind of reminds me of that. Like, there's a lot. I can keep smelling and just like working on trying to detect what it is like that. It's fun. It's an experience. 22. All
right. So why don't you continue for us with mouthfeel?
Ooh.
All right. I say same thing on the 22. Actually, I thought the mouthfeel was really good. Full, smooth. I'll put on there some other word I can't even read my own crap. All over, just smooth all over. I mean, on the sip. I like it. It hits me on the sides of the tongue, the rear of the tongue. None of it's too harsh. None of it's weird bitter. It's all nice kind of, it's got a lot, what is it? How much wheat? 35 wheat?
Yeah, there's a lot of wheat.
There's a lot of wheat in there. I don't get overly dirt grainy.
No.
Like, it's not overly dirt grainy. It's still plenty sweet cookie spice. Yeah, 22.
I gave it a 16 for mouthfeel. This is tied for my second lowest score. I think it drinks every bit its proof. If it's 117, it tastes 117.5. Full mouthfeel for sure, but it's very oily. And I think that's just got to do with the fact that this is a Florida whiskey. Not the greatest environment for aging barrels, but then again, I don't have the facts of if they move their barrels somewhere else for aging or what's going on if that's placebo. But regardless, I mean, this is a thick whiskey.
Yeah, and I agree with you. Actually, that was my first comment on there was oily, and that oily feel stays. A little bit. That oily feel stays with me, and like you said, James, it was a pretty good coating. But I did feel it more on the sides and not as evenly on the front of the tongue or the back. It was more on the sides, so it wasn't quite as even. So that dropped it just a little bit, so I give it a 17.
Yeah, they call it their cast strength edition.
Yeah.
And it gives me mouth coverage like a 130s. It's got a lot of oily kind of look to it. So we were just shaking it there too. And we saw earlier, we didn't shake it on purpose. And we were looking at the glass. You see a slight little haze on the bottom of the glass, just a little
something in there,
just a little tiny bit of sediment in there. So I just shook it there to make sure that's really what it is, and it is.
Yeah, it's not just glue on the bottom of the glass.
It's definitely, there's a little bit of something in it, So sometimes that's a good thing, a bad thing, but it's definitely
Well, so far I
like
like it. Yeah. All right, let's move on to flavor. And for flavor, I will go ahead and start. I got peppery and a little bit earthy. And once again, I gave it a 17, just like with mouthfeel. I really couldn't get too much more out of it, but I liked it. I liked that the little bit of spice I was getting and kind of that earth. It wasn't like overpowering earthy flavor, but it was there. So I liked it.
I do like that you were able to pull out some like earthy mineralistic quality, because I did that as well. For me, the taste of sour oak was very prevalent in this, kind of reminding me of Dickel in all honesty.
Okay, I can see that. I can agree with that. That Dickel Ball and Bond series.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so for me, that gave it a 17 on score. It's not bad, but it's not exceptional.
Yeah.
For Florida, it's great though.
Yeah. Yeah, woohoo, Florida! You're getting better. James, what about you?
It started going downhill here for me, and as I'm going through this comment, I just finished the shake, and I wanted to give it like another taste after that little bit of shake, and maybe I can pick up a few more little sweet notes, kind of like a bit of honey or something. Maybe it was a little bit of something in the barrel. Everybody has their way of prepping their barrels, whether we're going to call it a bourbon or not, whatever. Maybe I'm detecting a little bit more sweet notes now that I stirred that way, and that could have been what settled down out of there. Anyway, back to flavor on it. I gave it a 20 because I just wasn't able to say that it was caramels or this or that. I just said it's okay. Lots of small kind of like maybe grain sort of flavors, I think, is what just grain tendency sort of flavors are in there. But none of them was like this or that or a big word. But they were all okay. Okay enough, I gave it a 20.
Yeah.
So they were enjoyable, but yeah.
Absolutely. All right. With that, we're going to move on to our last category, finish. Zach, why don't you start us off with it?
Yeah, I'll start our finish. 16 tied for lowest score again. The flavors just fall off a cliff, and you're left with just this block of wood in your mouth. And I mean, whiskey does that sometimes, and it's no fault to its own here. This is just not my preferred finish. If you like your very oaky whiskey, like if you're a Knob 18 guy, you would love to try this. But it's just not for me.
I hear you. James.
So I was just going to tell Zach to take another pour after I shook it there, because it further helped the nose. It slightly further helped the mouthfeel. It made both the flavor and the finish worse. I actually picked a little tiny bit of mint there, and I'm like, okay, maybe the rye made it through. Maybe that's what sort of settled to the bottom or something in there. So I gave it a 20 on the finish. And I, like Zach, I called it bit bitter, not necessarily oaky. And I'm just not making I'm not advanced enough to make that association between bitter and oaked.
Yeah.
But if the two are the same, then they're the same. A bit bitter, but I do feel it's lasting. It hangs on my rear tongue. It's just not in a great way for me, but it's definitely there. It's not gone. So,
all right. So a little bit of an exercise here.
Oh, okay.
These are both 7 years old, correct?
Yep, both 7.
How much darker that is?
Yeah.
I think you're Florida just oak. Getting to a Florida case oak. Of cooked Florida oak.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
20, bit bitter.
So for mine on the finish, I gave it an 18. I like the burn on it, but it doesn't burn as much as I think a 117 should for me. I like a little. There you go. I hope you like that little clicking. But it doesn't burn as much as I would like. Even though it is 117, I think I've had some that are like 100 or 101 that actually burn a little bit more.
It's still there.
It's still there.
For 60 seconds.
It's still there, but it's.
I mean, to say that's a bad thing, though.
Yeah, no. Well, for me, I like that. I like that lingering burn. it's still there, but it's so diminished that's why I didn't give it higher. I gave it an 18.
And I think some people may like that though. That very
They might.
subdued.
They might. This is a
smooth, 'cause
personal preference.
Some people think of smooth
The
as
last
no
thing I
burn.
should be doing is telling distilleries how to do their job, but I would not give that more time. I would give it more proof and see if it just brought some more stuff out.
Honestly, I'd like to see this released at a 5 or a 4 year.
Yeah, maybe this list definitely doesn't. I don't think time is going to be an answer.
No,
for
I
making
don't.
that product better.
No.
It could be just maybe slightly filling around with when they pull it, or the percentage of wheat in there.
Or maybe they don't need to have it at cask strength. Maybe a proof down version of it is better.
Yeah,
I do think it's unique though. Like you can't say we were talking earlier. I can't say it tastes like something else for me. I mean, the more and more now I have, 300 bottles under my belt or more tasting that I'm pretty good like mental reference of. Doesn't taste much like anything else.
Well, and then there's the unique factor of, let alone this is a high wheat rye.
Yeah,
but it's a high wheat rye from Florida. Where the hell have you ever heard of that before?
Yeah.
Right here, right now, today.
Only on Totally Whiskey Wine.
Yep. Anyway, so that's it. That's our Kozuba High Rye Whiskey 7-year cask strength small batch. We gave it a score of 75, and whatever you're drinking, we hope you enjoy. Cheers.
Cheers, everybody.